Hi and welcome along to AFTV. We are looking forward to the game. Arsenal going to Bramall Lane to take on Sheffield United. And to preview the game, I've got with me Nick from the Sheffield United Way, Sheffield United channel. I did an interview over on their channel, and I thought I'd get him back onto ours so that we could find out a bit more about Sheffield United. Because you know what? The Sheffield United that we saw last season compared to the Sheffield United we're seeing this season, it's like it's two different teams. It's like that Sheffield United last season disappeared and another team's turned up in disguise. But it hasn't really gone well for you guys this season, Nick. You're staring down the barrel at the moment. But first of all, let me just ask you this. What's gone wrong? What's gone wrong at Sheffield United? Last season, we were all entertained by you guys. You got some great results. I remember you going to Stamford Bridge and getting 3 points. You know what I mean? You beat us. You know what I mean? You were outstanding last season. Your manager was being talked about as being the manager of the season. And then roll forward now, now your manager has been sacked and it's a completely different story.
Yeah, so where do I start? Because obviously there's a lot of different factors to why we are where we are. First of all, injuries have definitely not helped. Jack O'Connell's probably the biggest one. He was been out all season. I think it was only the Wolves game he played in. He was really poor in that game as well. I remember I'm thinking, that's not like Jack O'Connell. And it turned out he needed surgery on, I think it was his knee. But we've not seen anything of him really this season, as in even them talking about him coming back and stuff. They were showing him in a knee brace and stuff like that. And it's like, we just want to know when he's coming back. So now we kind of like, let's hope that he doesn't come back this season, because we don't want anyone to come in and poach him, because he's a very, very good footballer. For me, he probably was on the verge of being called up for England last season with how well he played. So losing him was a big, big miss, because really we went from being kind of like attacking down the left and down the right with these overlapping centre-backs that everyone likes to talk about, especially on Match of the Day. We went from that to just going down the right-hand side, totally one-dimensional. Because kind of last season and the season before and the season before, Chris Basham and Jack O'Connell, the two overlapping centre-backs, have been in those positions for years. So they knew that system inside and out. And sometimes both of them might have ended up in the box at one point. And it was just organised chaos and nobody knew what was going on except for Chris Wilder and the players. So it was great to watch. You can imagine how amazing that is to watch, just seeing these players going all over the place, just pass and go, pass and move, pass and move. That's all gone. Last season, that was all absolutely brilliant to watch. This season, with Jack O'Connell not being there, that right-hand side is all the only place that we attacked now. We didn't attack down the middle because we don't have the quality in central areas. We attacked just down the right with those wide overloads, overlapping centre-back, overlapping wing-back. And we tried to do that this season. But the problem was we got figured out. And it's not second season syndrome or people figured out how we played. Losing Jack O'Connell on that left-hand side, we didn't have a cover. And if we'd had a cover who was good enough to play that role, we'd have been fine. But we didn't, and it knocked us completely out of whack. But it's not just that. Sander Berge got injured, and Sander Berge probably 7 or 8 games into the season. Obviously, 23 million pounds were paid for Sander Berge. He was really coming into his own on that right-hand side of central midfield, very good player, picking the ball up, running with it. He had a bit of a difficult start because obviously the Premier League is so much more difficult than the Belgian league that he was playing in. So yeah, he was definitely getting better and better, and then he had a really innocuous injury that's just kept him out for a long time. But John Egan and Chris Basham as well both got injured this season as well. So at certain times we had none of those 3 centre-backs that made that defence so solid. And obviously with Dean Henderson going back to Man United, that's all those 4 central players just ripped out of that squad. And it's like, let's throw a Loney from Chelsea and Ampadu in there. Let's throw in a Nottingham Forest left wing back that's playing left centre back. Let's play our left wing back at left centre back. Let's play our right wing back at left. It was just all over the place. So we've gone from having barely any injuries in the last kind of 4 years, building this really strong, close-knit team, and then it just all completely kind of being thrown up in the air. But it's not just that. There's a lot of things. Chris Wilder has spent poorly, in all honesty. Now he's gone, and you look at it without a Sheffield United head on it. You look at it a little bit more in depth, and it's like, yeah, Brewster probably wasn't the right player for us to sign. We all got really excited at the time because he was an exciting prospect coming from Liverpool. But he's a boy playing in a man's game at the moment. He needs to learn his trade. He needs to go down to the Championship with us, score 20 goals, and then go back up and see where he comes from there. Also Aaron Ramsdale, another big one. We needed to bring in, for me, an experienced goalkeeper. And we brought in a young lad who had just been relegated with Bournemouth and had no confidence whatsoever. And he made so many mistakes in the early part of that season. And the early part of that season is where we kind of crumbled, because we went from being this great team that everyone loves to watch, everyone's second team, because we've come from League One to the Premier League, and now we're beating the likes of Chelsea, the likes of you guys, the likes of, I suppose it was Man United would beat this season. But with everyone loved to watch us, and then watching us this season, it, like you say, it's a completely different side.
Yeah, it's a completely different side. And, how do you think you're going to approach this game? Because, not being horrible, we know that Sheffield United are going to go down. It's just pride now to play for, isn't it? And it's a bit of a weird one for Arsenal as well, because we ain't really got, we've got an outside chance of getting a top 6 finish. But really, for Arsenal, it's all on Thursday night's game, the second leg against Slavia Prague. We need to get through in that. Then we can get into the semi-final, hopefully, of the Europa League. I mean, our only route back into Europe and to get a trophy this season is in that Europa League. So I do think that Arsenal could be a bit of a much-changed team. But how does Sheffield United approach this, this game?
It's a difficult one, mate, to be honest, because we are still without a lot of key players. A lot. In the last game against Leeds, we had 2 right-backs concussed. When does that ever happen? Everything's just gone wrong. And this season, for this game, we're probably missing 7, 8, 9 players that would be either in the first team or on the fringes. So you can see that it's a completely depleted side, which it's been for most of the season. So it's putting square pegs in round holes again. So I'm not really sure what to expect. We could expect a couple of lads back that we didn't expect, which would be a massive boost. But really going into this game, I see us trying to defend as well as possible, and then hoping for something either on the break, or hoping for our players to realise that they are actually good players and they are actually Premier League quality, because they definitely were last season and they're not showing it this season. So it would be really, really nice to see them step up to the plate, which they have done on a couple of occasions this season, just not enough.
You did beat us in the league last season at Bramall Lane. But I think more than anybody, and I said it when I did the interview over on your channel, I think you're one of these clubs that really miss your fans. Because I remember being at that game and your fans really were the 12th man. And that is missing at the moment. Your home form this season hasn't been great.
No, mate, no, and you're absolutely bang on with the no fans thing, because we missed that. We missed us massively last season even. Do you know when everyone came back from the lockdown? We beat Chelsea, we beat Spurs, and we beat Wolves in the last minute. Obviously, Wolves were brilliant last season. So that's 3 big clubs at Bramall Lane that we beat. And I felt like, can we only get up for these big games when there's no fans? So that I was a little bit worried from the back end of last season, because I think we lost the kind of last 4 or 5 games of the season last season. And we came back, I think, shattered, because I remember Chris Wilder and all the coaching staff saying they're working really hard at home, they're doing this, they're doing that, while we obviously can't train with them at the training ground. And I feel like they just trained too hard, and they came into that first game against Aston Villa shattered. And I think that just that's where it all started from. We did that. we are a club that really, really depend on the fans. And when you're a team that don't have the stars of like what you guys have got and your Man Cities and Liverpool and teams like that, you do rely on that fan interaction. And if your keeper this is what I was saying, if Aaron Ramsdale at the start of this season making mistakes, I don't think the fans would have got on his back. I think the fans would have been like, come on, you can do this, like, pick your head up. Because he's only a young kid at the end of the day. And I think that could have really given him a boost and really kind of pushed on his season. But all he saw was kind of negative comments on Twitter and stuff like that, because that's the only place you can vent your frustration, on Twitter, because you're sat at home, you can't be with your mates in the pub, you can't be sitting with friends and family watching the game. You're not talking about what you do is you just turn to the side of you and talk to your mate or your family or whatever about, oh, you should have saved that, shouldn't I? And instead of that, you're on your phone tweeting it. The player can see it. He gets his head down, and that just feels like what it's been all season. It's just everybody just blaming everyone, and you know how toxic Twitter can be at the best of times. So I think there's been a hell of a lot of things that have gone wrong for us this season, and fans is really a massive one. The away games as well, Robbie. Like the away games, we really got up for every single away game, and you know how loud an away set of fans are as well, because you feel like there's three other sides of this stand of this ground that you feel like you have to be louder than. So it's just we've missed fans massively.
All right, well, listen, we go into the game tomorrow. I mean, listen, as I said, it's a bit of a strange one for Arsenal as well. It's a bit of a nothing game for us in a way as well. But let's get your prediction. What do you reckon?
I'm going to have to be slightly positive here, aren't I? I said to you on our channel, I feel slightly more positive going into this game, just based on kind of your recent results. But actually, that could be this could be the worst possible time to play. You know what it's like. Those players will be fighting to play in that second leg. And you never know, we could get absolutely hammered. We'll have to see. I think I'm going to go for... It's going to be one goal either way, I feel. It's been like that for us for most of the season. There's only been 2 or 3 games where we've not lost by 1 goal. So I think it's going to be tight. I'm going to have to say a 1-0 Sheffield United win. But at the same time, I'm thinking more 2-1 Arsenal. That's what my head's saying.
I was actually going to go 2-1 Arsenal. I think we'll win, but the way we've been, the mistakes we've made, I can't see us keeping a clean sheet. So maybe 2-1 Arsenal, but you're going 1-0. Thank you very much, Nick. Once again, tell everybody where they can find your excellent channel. I was over there. I did an interview on there. It's a great channel. You guys put some great questions about ex-Arsenal players who play for Sheffield United. I'll tell you what, you guys, you had me with some of those. But tell them where everybody can find your excellent channel. No problem. It used to be called In Good Nick. That's what the channel was called when I came on this channel earlier in the season. But we are now the Sheffield United Way. We've rebranded for obvious reasons. Everyone can find us a little bit more easily. We are obviously a Sheffield United fan channel. Go over and check us out. Obviously, I'm not expecting 1 million Arsenal fans to come over and subscribe. But if you want to help us out, we are going down after all. So give us that little bit of sympathy. Go over there, subscribe, watch a few videos, click a few likes, and we'd really appreciate it. Give them some likes. They're doing a great job over there, man. And if they go down, I know you're coming back up. But big up yourself, Nick, man. Thank you very much. And looking forward to the game. Arsenal visiting Bramall Lane to take on Sheffield United. I think the fact there's no fans there is a bit of an advantage to us, because I was there last year and that is a hostile place. Great atmosphere. Unfortunately, that will be missing, but looking forward to the game.